Okay.
Got it. Leave it. Got it.
Got it.
Nice. Welcome to the History of LA Ska one-on-one sessions. I'm Junor Francis with our producer and good friend Eric Kohler. This series celebrates the ska, rocksteady, and vintage reggae scenes in Southern California and beyond through insightful conversations with legends and modern-day players and gifted and talented people on the scene. So whether you watch us on YouTube or listen on podcast episode, thanks for your support always and forever. Our guest today is Jackie Robinson of the none other than the Pioneers. He's been a member of the glorious group since 1967. Wow. The Pioneers remain one of the most influential and popular vocal groups in all of Jamaica. EK, can you introduce our guest, the eminent and distinguished?
Junior, you did an amazing job there. But Jackie, it's an honor to have you with us today. We were talking about this off air, but Jackie, Junior and I first saw you in the Pioneers at Sierra Nevada World Music Festival, June of 2001. And it was so monumental and so incredibly exciting. Because we saw you perform, but it was the same year also where Junior and I saw Leonard Dillon, Ethiopian, we Carlton on the Shoes. I mean, it was just an incredible festival, and I know that you and Junior have worked together since, and I've had the pleasure of seeing you since. But welcome, it's an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. So it was 2001. Somebody did their research.
Yeah. First time in California.
Yes. So you've only been out here twice.
Yes, that time Sierra Nevada and the time with you, your show in LA.
Right. Right. Yes, sir. Well, we want to honor Warren, the head man over there at Sierra Nevada. He's no longer in the flesh. He's no longer, but really and truly, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't see artists like you and Leonard Dillon, who we later brought to us.
Yes.
These are people we don't seeing, but man, Warren was a guy.
Big respect love to Warren Smith.
Rest in peace, Warren. Yeah. I remember meeting Warren.
And you have to support his wife and his family and the people around him. You know, he didn't do it by himself.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful cast of people.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Nice, man, nice. So where you presently living at the moment, Jackie?
At present, I am sitting in my home in South Florida, outside of Miami. I live just about half an hour north of Miami, Florida.
Right, half an hour north of Miami. Okay.
Yes.
Right. You've been here for a little while now, right?
Yes, long time, about 30 years.
Wow.
Yes. Good while.
Yes.
Because I know you used to live in England.
Yes, I left Jamaica 1969 when we had a song called Long Shot Kick the Bucket that went into the BBC pop charts in 1969, and we went to do a tour with the Upsetters. That include Aston Barrett and his brother Carly, who people know as the part of the Wailers. So we went to England 1969 on the same flight to England, and I spent 20 years in England. Then I came over here in 1989.
Okay.
Very interesting. And a friend of mine, I was in England in the mid 70s, mid to late 70s, and a friend of mine told me that the Pioneers, one of the most popular group from Jamaica in England at the time, you guys were based there, and said all three of you used to drive a three mini cars around London, and people would get guys like a
Ford Capri. We used to drive Ford Capri. Yeah, those days they were like the cars, the cars to have.
Three Ford Capri.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys would just drive around London.
Yeah, because all it was we were young and we were successful because we had several songs that went into the charts, as we can talk about during the conversations. I can tell you there's a lot the Pioneers contributed towards reggae music that
Oh,
is
yes.
not known to a lot of people. There's a lot of things that we have done. If we have time, I
Right.
could tell some of the things that we have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may have to do
Direct.
Yeah, no, we absolutely want to touch on that. Well, let's go back to where you were born and raised in Jamaica, if we can.
Yes, I was born in a place called Denham Town, Kingston 14. I remember we were talking about Gregory, and I was telling you, Eric, that Gregory and I grew up in Denham Town, and we used to sing together on the street. He had a guitar, and we used to go from what we call yard. Most people say house, but it was yard.
Right.
You know, we'd sing, and
just
there
for
was,
just for clarity, you're talking Gregory Isaacs.
yes, man, Gregory Isaacs, yeah. Denham Town, him come from like me, yeah. Oh yes, you know, and there was a theater nearby called Queen's Theater that we sang. He and I sang together at Queen's Theater, you know, but individually, you know, I came on and he came on afterwards and things like that. So he's somebody that I knew very well because
Yeah.
we grew up together when we were like teenagers.
And who are some of the other
Ken
known
Booth.
artists? Yeah.
Ken Booth, yeah. Ken Booth used to live above me. There's a place called Milk Lane. The name of a street was Milk Lane, and Ken Booth used to live above, you know. But Gregory, Ken Booth, you know, this is Denham Town. And then you have Baba and the other guys, you know, like Heptones. And you had Delroy Wilson from Boys Town, Trench Town. Denham Town and Boys Town and Trench Town is close.
Mhm.
Walking distance, you know, Jonestown, you know.
Mm.
There's a lot of people that, you know, because even on Orange Street, which is the main street where all record shops were, you talk about Leonard Dillon, you know, Ethiopians. They were like about 5 minutes walk. And we were at Beverly's Record, which is at Orange Street and North Street. And they were at JJ. RJ, yeah, RJ, which is like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Then
JJ.
further down, yes, yeah. Then further down
JJ.
there was
J-
yes, yeah. There was and then there was Moody from Spanish Town. His shop was further down. Then there was Prince Buster. Then there was Clancy Eccles. And then across the street was Studio One shop. Then we go further down to Amalgamated Records, you know. And then further down at North Parade was Randy's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're talking early mid 60s,
Mid 60s.
mid 60s.
Early 70s, yeah.
Right.
Nice, nice. So any brothers and sisters in your family?
That's another story. Yeah,
I figure they
counting.
need some recognition.
They're not into the entertainment field, but I'm counting because I think my dad had about maybe 11 of us, but we weren't all the same mom and dad. So most of them still reside in New York. So it was like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brothers and the same amount of sisters I had. My family is very large, you know, on my mother's side. My mother's father had like 18 children.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
What,
So you're always protected, man.
Yes.
So anyone else in your family sing, your mother and father sing or play instrument?
No, it's only me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the father decides that he's going to give me that talent to sing and to another and well write also because I write songs too because you know we all wrote those songs together.
who are some of your musical inspirations? Like who do you remember listening to growing up?
Well, when I was in Jamaica, Jamaican people like a variety of music, you know, calypso, mento, whatever, but Jamaican rocksteady, ska, reggae, but Jamaican people like R&B music also, you know, like soul music. And I used to love Otis Redding.
Yeah.
You know, Otis Redding was popular, you know. And then later on, I realized that I really love the man that died so sadly. His father shot him, you know, Marvin Gaye, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ken Booth, now, you know, as local singer, I always love Ken Booth, you know, I said it anywhere and everywhere I go, you know.
It's
Yeah,
hard not to love his voice though.
Yeah, one of the best.
I like Ken Booth, you know.
Yeah.
Delroy Wilson,
So
Delroy style was
yes,
good, special, you know.
Yeah.
first child star, right? Delroy
Come on, Delroy, I know Delroy a long time.
was an
Del-
inspiration for
Yeah,
everyone.
man. Yes, yes, yes. For others that
Big,
came after Delroy, yeah.
Right.
big inspiration. Wow. Mhm.
Mm.
So back then, were your parents strict? Were you able to freely go to dance and all those things before you reach 16, 17?
Well, it's so funny that where I was born on North Street, 103 North Street in Denham Town, in front of where I was born, you know, there was 102 North Street. There was a dance hall named Carnival Dance Hall
Mm.
that I used to keep dance. And then like about 10 minutes walk around the corner on Wilton Street, there was Chocomolan. And so I was hearing music from an early age. They used to have the sun and have the arms up in the trees and stuff like that. And you
Yes.
know, yeah. But I went to Denham Town School and I wasn't thinking about singing, you know. People used to say, you know, you must learn a trade. And my dad used to say, learn a trade. But one day I was at school and the teacher said, I want to do like a concert and everybody, what kind of talent you have? Can you, you know, recite a recitation, a poem or whatever? Or you can dance, you know? And this guy that was my best friend called Louis Dyke, I went to school with. We said we were gonna sing as a group, and we called ourselves the Eagles. That was the name that we called ourselves, the Eagles. Yeah, and you know we sang some song, but then one day I sang by myself, and then them start to applaud the class, you know, and I was surprised because I'm saying, wow, this looked like it's fairly serious. They was genuine applauding me because it looked like they was impressed with what I was singing and how I sound. But even after leaving school, I wasn't really thinking about it. And then there was this guy that was a friend of mine that grew up in Denham Town called Ajax. And we said, we're going to sing together. And, you know, but I used to sing with other people. So I'm thinking, man, where I get the break, I'll take it, you know. And there was a guy named Sammy who told me about a man who was taking up audition, you know, down on Orange Street somewhere and Beeson Street somewhere. So we went one evening, Ajax and myself, to audition for then. The man named Joe was Joe Gibbs of Amalgamated Records.
Mhm.
And we went, yeah. And we sang some song that we wrote, and Mr. Gibson, those guys were kind of harsh, you know. Man, I don't like none of those songs, man. And I found myself to start singing this Billy Stewart song, sitting in the park waiting for you. And I don't know why I started singing that song, and he stopped me and say, you know what, man, I like your voice, man. Yeah, just I swear it was like yesterday to me. I remember it, you know. And he said to me that he has this guy that was been practicing a song. He had a session coming up. Then the studio was West Indies. That's known now as Dynamic Studio. It was World West Indies, now Dynamic. Now down on Bell Road, which is about 3 Mile there in Jamaica. And he said I should come to the studio because if the guy couldn't sing the song, he would let me sing it. Just like that, you know. And I went to the studio and I'm there. You know, I'm nervous. You know, I'm like about 16 years old. And wow, this is like my first, and I'm gonna record solo. And I'm outside and I'm practicing the song, you know, because now I hear the song. I think it was a song. I can tell by the way you just been kissed. Whole lot of loving that I miss. You
Mhm.
been old enough. What's the
Mhm.
song, you know. And I remember while I was there practicing, I saw this guy sitting on a motorbike. And he called me and he said his name was Lottie or Sidney Crooks, and that he was part of a group called the Pioneers. Yeah, because I wasn't originally,
Right.
right? Called Pioneers.
How familiar were you at that time with the Pioneers?
Well, because I was in the business
Yeah.
and they had made some songs, and I
Okay.
used to be in Orange Street a lot. You would hear
Okay.
some of
Got
the
it.
songs. But as far as I remember, they never had any hit records. Yeah.
Okay.
But I know of some of the songs that they did.
Right.
So we said, man, he's recording a song and he wants me to sing it with him. Yeah. And I said, all right. And I recorded my song solo as Jackie Robinson. And I recorded a song with him called Give Me Little Lovin'. It was a rocksteady. It was still rocksteady. So I've been singing from rocksteady. I started in rocksteady, but it was, cause rocksteady never lasts long in Jamaica. Some people might not know that. Rocksteady didn't last long before it changed to reggae. So we recorded the song, Give Me Little Lovin'. And the song came out and went to number 3, number 4 on the charts. So we had a hit tune. I think that was the first Pioneers hit song, Give Me Little Lovin'.
Yeah.
Then we recorded Long Shot, Bust My Bet, which I believe some people that write about reggae, research reggae history, said that might have been the very first song when the rhythm changed from the slow rocksteady to the more up-tempo reggae. Long Shot, Bust My Bet. You don't have to believe me. You can, research in reggae and you'll see that.
And
what year was?
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was between 1967, 1968. No later than that. 1967, 1968, around the same time that the music changed from rocksteady to reggae. Yeah, right. So right. So we had 2 takes of the same track for the Long Shot, Bust My Bet, and then the same time we recorded a song called Jackpot, Hip Hip Hooray, Hip Hip Hooray, and that went into the charts. So we had 3 chart songs as a pioneer between Sidney Crooks and myself around 1967. So I don't know whether you know Kingston, Junor, yeah?
Don't forget, yeah, man. Orange Street and all the record shop, there, yeah, man.
Right. A little small place, and it's a small area, right? Nothing big. Right. So Beverly's Records was at the top. So we know George, would pass one another and heal up one another and things like that. So George was at Beverly's Record, but George wasn't happy at Beverly's Record. So we said, why we don't make the group a trio instead of a duo? So we invited George, and George accepted, and George had an idea for a song. And we came together and completed the song. And it's a song called Bam Bam Ba Ba Da Ba Dam Bam Bam, easy come, easy go. And everybody wanted the song, because we recorded it for ourselves, but we couldn't finish it. Go record, I have to master, and then you have to press and make it a stamp and stuff like that. So, yeah. So Beverly's Record people, Leslie Kang was the man, because those 3 brothers, Leslie, we call that one Fats and one named Cecil Kang, right? And they loved the song, and they offered us a deal, and they took the song and brought it out, and it went to number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we come, Sidney Crooks, George Agard, and Jackie Robinson, the pioneers. So we have a number 1 song now. So we start going all over. We did All Island show, Byron Lee, the 14 parishes, and George. Yeah, and then there was a all-girls group called Ingrid Chin and the Avengers that George and I used to band vocalists on a Monday night in Ucherius.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and then we used to go up a Brown Club up in Union Square and Crossroads and Dingo, Sombrera, where was that? We used to live off of singing, because the Chinese people used to give a weekly salary. Yeah, that was the best man to record for. You get paid when you work for those Chinese people.
Everyone said that.
Yeah, man, it's a fact. It's a fact. Because Bob recorded for them too. Bob came there, Melodians, Clarendonians, Gaylords, Delray, everybody came to them. So it's something that's my dad at a stall down on Orange Street, Craft Market. You know of Craft Market, right?
Of course.
Right. So I think it was on Monday. My memory is not too shabby, and I went to look for my dad. Yeah. And I saw him reading, the daily newspaper, The Gleaner, right? And he said to me, you see your ass dead, man? So that's how you mean. Cause I never bet on racehorse. Him say, yes, long shot, man. They had an incident the Saturday when two horses died. Yeah, in a race. Yeah. And he said, but you guys never do a tune about this long shot business, man. Just like that, just like that. And I left him and I walked and went back to Orange Street, to Beverly's Record, where Georgia and Sydney was. We used to have a piano in the back, yeah, at the back of the shop, and we used to write songs. And I passed the idea on to them like that, and we sat down and we wrote Long Shot, Kick the Bucket.
Okay.
Just like that.
Wow.
Long Shot, Kick the Bucket. And so Long Shot, Kick the Bucket came out. I was a smash it in Jamaica. And then afterwards, we found out, yeah. 1969, this was 1969.
Right.
So after I came out and was a smash in Jamaica, there's this guy called Warwick Lee. He's dead now. We used to live here too in Miami. Really nice guy. He was like, working with them like an executive producer, and he called us outside one day and he said, listen, guys, I have something to tell you. He used to speak and stutter a little bit, but sometimes you have some human beings, some just nice people. This was Warwick Lee. And he said, listen, you guys, Long Shot is in the charts in England. So we all jump up and say, yeah, man, we know that it's #1 in the reggae charts. He said, stop talking, man, and listen to me, man. Your guys, Long Shot, Kick the Bucket is in the pop charts. The charts where Ingeborg Company, Tom Jones, the Beatles, Rolling Stone, the Tremblers. You have a hit song in England. That's a crossover to the masses, that's selling to the young white kids. So we're trying to comprehend the vastness of this.
Right.
Because now this is reggae music being introduced to the international community.
Yeah, to the mainstream, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And this time it was Israelites, Desmond Deck and the Aces, and Return of Django, the Upsetters, Wet Dreams, Maxi Romeo, Liquidator, RDJ All Stars, and Long Shot, Kick the Bucket. Right? That's the 5 songs, in 1969 that crossover from the Jamaican immigrant community to cross over to selling to the masses, the young white kids that they call skinheads.
History.
Yeah, man. Facts, I'm telling the truth. I was there, I live it. And then so at the same time, there's a company in England called Commercial Entertainments, right? There was an agency, a booking agency, and they came to Jamaica and they saw us perform. We did 9 shows with an R&B singer at the time named Joe Simon. That did the song, I only meant to love you. Yeah, I'm sitting home all alone in sorrow and misery. That guy, yeah, right. Nice. I would toured with him, Jamaica, Regal Theatre, Carib Theatre, stuff like that. So the guys were there on the sauce and they came to us and said, look, we want you guys to come to England to tour. So we agreed, round trip ticket prices, everything. We were supposed to be doing a 6-week tour. So they took us and the Upsetters to go to England. Okay, so the 6-week tour that the Pioneers was supposed to do turned into 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm not lying about anything because everywhere we went, they want to see us again. Because what we had our reggae hit song, but we quickly realized that young white kids love them, the kind of up-tempo, give me just a little more time, them kind of songs, Yeah. And well, never like to sound like I'm blowing my trumpet or anything, but I could sing R&B songs, so we could do a good show. And they went crazy for the Pioneers. Yeah, in England, 1969, 1970. So about May 1970, we went back to Jamaica to record. Then we went back to England. And this is 1970. Then we were there and touring again, going back all the places. Then sometime late 70, there's a guy named Lee Gaptal, who managed a company that was releasing all the reggae songs at the time. It was called Trojan Records. Right. So he played a song, and he said, man, guys, what do you think about this song, man? And I don't know why I didn't like this song. I said, I think you guys should sing this song, Sound like it could be a hit for, Pioneers. So no, so we end up going to the Middle East, to Egypt and Lebanon, and we was out there for like, we spent 2 weeks in Egypt, Cairo, Sheraton, right on the banks of the River Nile. They
Wow.
went to Lebanon, you know, and work at the
First reggae group.
yes, man, yeah. Phoenicia Intercontinental Hotel, it was called. That time Lebanon didn't have the civil war. It was a united country.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were out there for maybe 3-4 months, came back to London, League up tall. You see, what is for you is for you. Play the same song for us again. And I said, yeah, man, the same song. And the song was a song, let your ear be heard,
Oh yeah.
and you know now.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Massive.
And we recorded the song, and the song came out 1971, yeah? I went to number 5 in the BBC pop charts. The same Pioneers, yeah, that gave long shot to the book.
Right.
Then he had another song, you got to give a little, take a little. Jimmy Cliff song. Jimmy Cliff wrote Let Your Be Here, and we sang it and took it to the charts. And then there's another song called Give and Take that also went into the charts around 35. So within 2 years, I'd say, 69, 1971, we had 3 puppets, the Pioneers Reggae Group.
Wow.
So
And
this was 1971.
and would you tour throughout Europe then?
No, what we used to do then, and prior to 71, we would go to Germany and Holland and do pop shows. There are pop shows. One was called It's a Go-Go, I think it was called It's a
right.
Go-Go. And we used to fly out for maybe a couple of days and perform Let Your Be and songs like that.
Yeah.
And then go back to England. So we were still touring. We never really stopped touring England. We're still up and down. So 71, 72, 73, I think we went back to Jamaica. Yeah, 73, we went back to Jamaica to record again. You know, and then 73, 74, we're still in England. Now we're living in England now.
So 74, is that the year that you moved permanently?
Around 72, 73, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we got ourselves sorted out, you know. So we're still there, you know, doing television shows in Europe, you know, It's a Go-Go and other stuff, you know, mainly was Holland and Germany. So 74, we're doing the same thing in 74. Then 1970, between 1974 and 75, we went to Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, Pioneers, the first reggae anything.
First reggae group again.
Yeah, let me say it this way, the first reggae anything, yeah? So I'm saying group our solo artists that went to Japan, 1974, 75, the Pioneers.
First.
Yeah, the tour, yeah. Went to flew out to Tokyo, we stopped in Thailand for about a week. There were some things that needed sorting out, and we stayed there for a week, and then we flew into Tokyo, met by fans with signs. Well, we went to that group from England called the Cimarrons.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so it was a Pioneers. Yeah. 1974, 75. Went and introduced reggae to Japan because they interviewed us. They had a station then there that for English in Japan. So they interviewed us in Japan on that English television station.
Amazing response.
I don't understand, but that's why when people say music is international language, it is a fact. Because these people were speaking their language, Japanese, but they went crazy for us. It was good. It was good. We were there for maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the backing musicians that you would use around that time?
No, it was the Cimarrons. The Cimarrons is a self-contained group. They have instrument and they had a lead vocalist named Winston Reedy. So they would play with us.
Yes.
When our time come to sing, they play with us. Yeah. They were nice guys, no problem.
Let Your Yak Be Yak, was it recorded in England or Jamaica?
The track was recorded in Jamaica. The music by Jamaican musicians. And then the voice was done in England in a studio called Shark Farm.
Oh,
in Camden Town, London, yeah.
Mhm. Right. So I always, well, for many years now, I'm relatively clear the difference between the Slickers and the Pioneers because I hear the same voice in both bands. But I think I read somewhere. So this thing is really tricking me, you know?
No,
Say I can't be wrong. Some pioneers
okay,
cross both
let
bands.
me take,
Am I right or am
yeah.
I right?
No, okay. So what happened to the Slickers now? George had a song to do, wanted to do it. Somebody asked us to do a song, yeah? Nam Nana. That song. So we recorded it then, and we needed a name because we were working with Beverly's record and it was kind of like exclusive, yeah? Which kind of was crazy when you look on it now because they knew it was, you know. So if we thought of a name to use, and the name Slickers came. So we used the name Slickers to do Nana.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really the Pioneers that recorded Nana. Then after that, now you hear the Slickers doing a song named Johnny Too Bad, right?
Right.
Walking on the road
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
pistol. Yeah, but that wasn't us. That Slickers now a guy called Joe Derek Crooks. This was Sidney Crooks' brother.
Okay.
So they start using the name, and we never really have no problem since we were the Pioneers, and these the Pioneers anyway.
Yeah. Setting the
So
record
that's
straight.
what happened with that, yeah.
Set the record.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys started it and then
Yes.
family
Slickers.
member.
Nana. Yeah.
Big tune.
Yes.
What's that song it about, sir? What's that song it about?
It's not about anything special. You know, George is a man of this kind of way for write gimmicky thing about you take your time with Nana show and feeble and thing. But you know, Jamaican sometimes we make tune like the Calypsonian kind of thing and you can look on it the wrong way. Take your time with Nana show and feeble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have
Because
to
I
take
think
your
Nana
time.
used to come to the record store and sell. Nana used to sell carrot juice at the
No,
studio.
no, it's not anybody like that. It's just one of them things that you just make use some tricky lyrics, but you know really attack
Yeah.
about Nana as a person, yeah.
Right.
You're talking about a different situation, but you can express it in other terms in the public.
Right.
Right. So you know, people make up their own story that Nana used to sell carrot juice at the studio.
No, nothing like
For selling
that.
the record straight.
Nothing like that, sir.
Yes. So why you decide to leave? Because Lottie, I think, went to New York. You went to Florida, right? After England,
Yes,
and George remained.
and George remained, yeah. Well, why I decided to leave? Well, sometimes you just want to be by yourself, you know, like that, you know. And then what happened? We had okay, so I have the ability to record something for myself if I wanted to. You know, the company Trojan Record have subsidiary labels, Attack Records, Arts Records. And so I saw there's a shy like song called Homely Girl. Homely Girl. You know that song? You were so lonely.
Yes.
She must have broke your all in love when the boys used to say so. I said, man, this could be a nice reggae song.
Right.
But I kind of remember like the other two guys that wasn't that fussy. So I went to one of the managers in the company and passed the idea on to him. He approved it and said, yeah, go and record it, man. So I went in with a guy named Danny Livingstone. I recorded it. And it was a big reggae hit song for me.
Do you remember what year? What year was that?
1974. I forgot. It was 1974. So it came out as Jackie Robinson. And so when you have a reggae song, club people, I said, man, I like if do a show here and there, you know, London, Birmingham, Manchester, Sheffield,
Right.
Bristol, Luton. So then after I did that song, and that was a big success for me, then I did another song. Well, Percy Sledge song. Let me wrap you in my reggae, and that was take off too. as Jackie Robinson.
Right.
So I started doing some Jackie Robinson thing, you know. But then, you know, in the end, the pioneers thing was always there, you know.
Yeah.
Always there, because I mean, the sound has always been between myself and George Decker, speaking frankly and truthfully,
Mm-hmm.
and not hiding from the facts. Yeah. So not much wasn't going on when I wasn't there. You know, it's like this sound, we had a sound between the two of us.
Yeah.
So then, like you
You
asked me
guys
about,
regroup.
go ahead.
And when did you regroup?
I would say maybe when Sidney Crooks leave, I'm trying to remember, maybe late 70s. Okay, 1982. I think it was 1982,
Yeah.
because records around 74, 75 went into liquidation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then League Capital around the late 70s, early 1980s, League Capital got some funds, I would say, for want of a better way to describe it. I wanted us, because they always know that we was one of the biggest selling groups on Trojan Records. We had several hit songs, you know. And he wanted us to record some songs. So this was around 1982. Sidney Crooks was in Canada, Toronto, and, you know, got in touch and said, you know, what do you think? Fly, George and myself fly to Toronto, and then we'll go to Jamaica and do some records. And, you know, okay. So, but Sidney had some tracks that he had made, you know, some kind of, you know, album tracks. And like we arrived about the Saturday night or something like that, from London to Toronto. And we were sitting down the house, eating, having a drink. And he said, let me play some of the tracks for you, man, and listen and tell me what you think. And then play the tracks, them, you know, I will listen to it. And I'm saying, what you guys feel, man? You think we could have go in the studio and try some things, man? I said, all right. I went into the studio and finished the album. The next day we come out to finish an album. You know,
In
like
Canada or
no, this was the voicing, this was in Toronto.
voice?
Yeah. So we still went to Jamaica and did some other stuff, you know. But he had some stuff and we recorded it, finished it the night, came out the morning, it was done. This was I don't know if it's called Reggae for Lovers. With Alyssa medley. If you're ready,
Yes.
come
That was the era of medley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, heaven must be missing an angel, missing an angel child, 'cause you're here with me right now. Oh, yeah. It was fine. That was that album. Maybe even though it would sell.
Right. Yeah, I used to see Sydney in New York when he was.
He used to go backwards and forward, New York, Toronto.
Yes.
That was a big successful album. With it shows in Canada, you know. I mean, there's so much things to tell because we've been all over the world.
Right.
We got shows in Canada. There's so much, because Brazil, there's so much places.
Well, that's another story. Brazil is another story.
That's another totally different thing. Because, yeah. So I was doing all those places throughout Europe. But Europe in those early days for reggae, there was not a lot of live shows like there is now.
Right.
Yeah. It was mostly television we go on there. And then we go,
take us back to the late 70s in the UK and what you were aware of that was happening with the whole two-tone ska, you know, the specials and so Selector and some of those bands. Do you remember hearing and obviously seeing that happen in real time?
Well, remember now, right? You remember I was telling you there's a lot of things that we have done
Yes.
that people don't know about. So for instance, we had a song called Time Hard that was originally recorded by us and written by us. That was covered by a group called The Select. Every day, things are getting
Yeah.
worse.
Right.
They use it on, where they use it on now? Silicon Valley some years ago. I don't know if you used to watch a HBO comedy.
Yeah. That series. Right.
They use it on the soundtrack. Yeah. Then Long Shot Kick the Bucket. There's a group called The Specials.
Yeah.
After 2000 time, they recorded over Long Shot, and it went back to #1.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was another group called The Beat that recorded one of our songs, Jackpot. Yeah, yeah. It was on the platinum gold selling album.
Yeah.
It
Right.
was on the B side of a song there that went to #4 called Mirror in the Bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So because we had our thing correctly done, contracts for our publishing, then we got accounted to. You understand?
Yeah.
We got our royalties. Then
Yeah.
Long Shot the Bucket also was sampled by there's a reggae group in France years ago called, I think they were called Joe Joseph. And they sampled it on an album that sold like 500,000. Because France have the biggest album market in Europe, the country of France. And it was on their album. The sample Long Shot Kick the Bucket. A Long Shot Kick the Bucket is in movie soundtrack, a movie called Just Right with Common and Queen Latifah.
Right.
Yeah, Long Shot Kick the Bucket is in there. It's also in Wackness, a movie with Ben Kingsley. Then we had a song named Money Day. Shabba-ba-dee, every day should be like Sunday. They use it to advertise digital phone in Jamaica.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Time Hard. No, they use Time Hard when last year in another program in England they use it on like computer kids show. What else I did again? Then we have Death Valley. There's a series. I don't know if you see it in California. They must have used about half a dozen of our songs on the soundtrack. Yeah. There's also Jackpot used in a French film early this year, last year. Yeah, people covered.
So how you track the royalty? You have a company that tracks the royalty.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have our publishing contracts. All done by me because I use my head, use my brains.
Yeah. Right.
And I found out these things.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, man. Glad to hear that. Because a lot of reggae artists being compensated for the work. So they're catching help.
Never. No, we never joined that. We never joined that church at all. Don't understand the business side of it. It's joking that, man. You need to understand the business side, which I did. And I got these things done a lot of the times by myself, using my resources, writing people, calling people, chasing after people.
Right.
I said, look, you have to pay us because, we write it. What do you think you're doing? You can't getting lawyers to go after them until they settle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right. So back in Jamaica, you only work with two producers, Joe Gibbs and Leslie Kang, right?
Well,
They work Studio One and Treasure Isle?
No, we never work. We work in the studios. I sang harmony on a Clancy song in Studio One called I Really Love You, Fatty, 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 Fatty. Remember that song? I love you, Fatty, when you... Yeah, I sang harmony on it. Yeah, then we recorded some songs in Treasure Isle on an album, but we never recorded for them. And when it's a producer, you should say, right, executive producer, because the producers was really the musicians and the singers in Jamaica in those early times.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, because
to be more specific.
Rockery didn't do anything. The musicians did all the arranging and
organizing. And so it goes at Beverly's and other places. It was really between the producers and the singers that are the ideas. There was the guys spend the money and pay for the session. But I can't speak about Studio One because I never worked for Mr. Coxon. Right. I never worked for Rockery either. So,
Mhm.
you know, I couldn't say that about Mr. Cox, you know.
Right. But retrospect, looking back, it seems as though once you start working with Beverly, you hardly go back to Treasure Isle or Cox,
N-
you know, because
Never,
of pay.
never make any sense to deal with anybody else. People send messages to
Right.
us from other studios, say they want us to record. We were not interested,
Mhm.
to tell you the truth. The guy that we did the Nana for was somebody who we knew and we was kind of helping him, like he was coming into the business, and it was like that. Cause we could have gone record at other places. They wanted us to send messages, but we weren't interested.
Who,
Mhm.
who were some of the musicians that you worked with, either at Leslie Kong's or Joe Gibbs?
One of the man that died now that you guys know very well, Ox Brown,
Oh, yeah.
guitar,
Right, Hooks.
Jackie Jackson and bass,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Gladdy Anderson, Winston Wright on keyboard,
Wow.
Kyle Ratatam on drum,
Genius.
Hugh Malcolm drum, Paul Douglas drums.
Yeah.
Those guys are the heroes of reggae.
Cream of the crop right there. Yeah.
And okay, there was some kind of conflict about Linty, the guy, the guitarist from Trinidad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Linty
Right.
played he was prominent guitarist, great guitarist
Yes.
on the Rocksteady, because he plays on Long Shot Bust My Bed and Jackpot. He had tick on the track. That's Linty. Linty played on some of our songs, but mostly Rocksteady, not reggae. So where the reggae is concerned, Linty, I don't know, I can't remember seeing him so much when the reggae came along. I don't know if he had gone somewhere else or not. But where the Rocksteady with the
He went to Canada, but I'm not exactly sure what
yeah, man, he was
Rocksteady.
prominent, you know, in the Rocksteady,
Yes.
Linty.
Yes.
He had a band, Linty and the Jets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, guy from Trinidad, but no difference.
Yeah,
Look,
man.
I don't deal with nothing. Island or color them foolishness there. He was from Trinidad, but he was a great guitarist.
Right.
Yeah, man, like Ox Brown, man. Well, you know Ox Brown. And then there's Rod Bryan, Dougie, my friend, very tall. I don't know if you know. You guys must have seen Rod out there with Metals or Jimmy
Yes,
Cliff or
man.
somebody.
Yes.
Tall, Dougie. Yeah, man, Dougie. That's another man. Great guitarist, Dougie.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
So you miss the ska musicians like Dan Drum and the Jackie Mittoo.
I came after.
Right.
Right.
That was
right.
before my time, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Came after.
Yeah.
It was the glorious era too.
We the three of us talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we were chatting, and Jackie, you touched on it with obviously the first Long Shot song that you
Mhm.
recorded, but it's for the sake of our viewers and listeners, love to touch on again some of the other early, or what some other people might consider the first reggae songs, right? So if we can just touch on that again.
Nanny Goat. They talk about Nanny Goat,
Right.
which I don't think it was, because I think Nanny Goat was late 70, 60, right? So I don't think Nanny Goat. Then some people talk about Do the Reggae, the Metals,
Mhm.
which I don't think so either. And then some people talk about People Funny by Lee Perry. You know,
Lee Perry.
why people funny, boy? It could not have been, because People Funny was a song that was cursing our song. Hey, people, hey, we catch a jackpot, we catch a jackpot. People was saying, no, that you win, you catch jack, you win the chat. Lord, you're a big chat. All I've done for you, you don't remember that.
must remember that.
You lucky have rise up. Like he was making a song that was cursing us out. After we made Long Shot, so I don't see how People Funny could be it either.
What- But did you working with Lee Perry at Joe Gibbs studio, right?
Amalgamated. He was there for a short time. Yeah, man. Lee Perry yeah, man. Yes. A short time he was with Joe Gibbs.
So that's why he made that song.
Yeah, because after he left, we made the song. He made the People Funny Boy song.
Mhm. Interesting.
Finger pointing.
Yeah.
Can you go on to Beverly?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jamaican.
yeah, but this, the strange things.
Lee Perry was good for that. You know, when Prince Buster left, Studio One, I heard he wrote a lot of the Delroy songs that Delroy was pointing finger. He wrote those for Coxsone. So he was pretty good at that.
Yes, yes, man.
Joe Legacy.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't have much to do with Studio One. I just remember the time when I went to do the Harmony with Clan Circles, and I remember one time going to the audition and them say, remember like them never accept me. And then I believe
that was before
that was before
you
I
guys
made
started
my way. That was before I got through at Amalgamated, yeah.
Okay.
But I remember some other records that are kind of, I think it was Studio One with it. Years ago, they wanted to do some jingles at JBC, you know, like promo songs. And the guy, one of the manager, it was JBC, yeah, I think it was JBC RJ, got Clan Circles to do the recording. And he called George Agard and myself to sing some jingle song like something would say, please, Mr. Midnight, not uptime, the smooth and bright, so sweet and low, midnight show, right? So the whoever the DJ would play his jingle, and we would record it.
Yeah.
So that is the only thing I have to do with Studio One. I never record for Coxsone, no, or for Church Drive, no.
Right.
I want to ask you about your work with Eddie Grant. I know you did some work with Eddie while in England.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Is that a bad journey down memory lane?
No, it's not that it's bad, you know, because I speak the truth. I don't try to hide anything. So,
and what year are we talking?
Oh, 70s.
Okay.
Fairly early 70s.
Okay.
Okay, so Eddie Grant, we met Eddie Grant, I believe maybe one of those clubs in London, the West End London. And we knew about Eddie Grant and the Equals. And obviously knew about us because we were in the charts. We had several charts in. So we started getting friendly with each other and realized that Eddie Grant was a talented man. So at one period, Eddie Grant was playing guitar with us. Yeah. Then Eddie Grant had written a song for a girl, and you know it was a cut after the "Woman, take me in your arms and rock it, baby." You remember that song? George McCrae song. Woman. So, but it's something off that. You could see that he touched it. You know, the idea was from that. And we heard the song. I can't remember who suggested it that we should sing the song. You know, and we, it was a song called "Feel the Rhythm of You and I Feel the Rhythm." Same idea. I recorded the song, yeah, called "Feel the Rhythm." Eddie Grant played it for some guy. I think the guy's name was Nigel Grange, and he was a big man at, I think, one of those, I can't remember which, maybe Arista record or something like that.
Right.
And I called back Eddie and said, listen, I am in Europe and I'm coming back in a couple of days. Don't do anything with that song. And the guy came back and took the song and gave Eddie Grant a deal to record us, the Pioneers, and to record the Equals. And I can't remember the name of the band. Eddie Grant had a band, 90 Degrees, they were called. And we recorded 2 albums under the deals, a phonogram record. So that's the kind of deal that we had with Eddie Grant. It was R&B. You know, recorded 2 soul albums in the early 70s, which was a bit early for the soul music in England, because even songs like Lala Means Love and those kind of songs came out and Didn't I Blow Your Mind and didn't go into the pop chart. It was long after those songs were pop hits in England.
Right.
So we were ahead of our time, I think.
Yes.
You know, so
right.
we did 2
and how was the
albums.
sale on those 2 albums?
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. You know, the contract was like what, maybe 4 year for 4 albums, and they did 2 and didn't take up the options for the other 2. But, we got that good advance and thing, and then I used to record with Eddie Grant. I used to sing harmony. Used to do a lot of Eddie Grant harmonies with the double track device.
You was individual or the group?
Most of the time was me. Yeah,
Just
because
like-
remember the recording, we have like maybe 16, 24 track. So I put on one harmony voice. I put on like that, because I'm into the singing now and I really get to understand it because harmony is the hardest part of singing. The melody lead note, anybody can sing a melody lead note if he's a good singer.
Right.
But there's a lot of lead singer, and I'm not going to call any of those guys' name, right? Big singer that you'll be surprised that them can't sing harmony. But a lot of the harmonies, that's why I say a lot of the sound in the Pioneers is between George Edgar and me, because we double track harmonies.
Mhm.
So I would do that with Eddie. I would put on one voice, then I'll go back and put on another voice, and then I put on another voice, but it's only me singing.
Yeah. Well, we could even tell from this interview you're very good at imitating some amazing singers.
I used to be like, wow, really good. Yeah.
Can you do any Otis?
Otis?
Yes.
I've got dreams to remember. Oh, she may be weary. Young girls, they do get weary, wearing that same old shaggy dress. But I was better,
Nice.
Man, now, but no, man, those things was like, shh.
Yeah.
I used to be,
natural.
Yeah, years ago, trying to remember, we had to travel and they was coming up with the idea. I don't know if Junor know about this Black Heroes thing that came out of England, if you remember it. There were some guys that came together and put on a show, yeah, called it Black Heroes. So we'd have people saying that they're Marvin Gaye, Percy Sledge, Otis Redding. You don't know about it, Junor?
People that would like imitate and
It was called Black Heroes, yeah. So telling stories of Black heroes, I would get guy would come on and would play maybe Haile Selassie or Malcolm X or some great Egyptian king. But then they concentrated on you'd have a girl who would be Diana Ross.
Okay.
And they sent a message to me. And then I had a choice of being Marvin Gaye, Percy Sledge, or Otis Redding.
Wow.
Because I could cover.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it because I was committed to travel somewhere.
Yeah. But it was an honor to be considered, right, and asked.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And they thought maybe I didn't want to do it, but I said, no, I have to go. I am committed. I'm trying to remember where I was going. I think maybe I was going to Canada.
Right.
To do some shows,
Yeah.
Yes. Well, speaking of show, we have to touch a little bit on Brazil.
Yes.
Brazil muito bom, amigo. Brazil muito bom. I am talking Portuguese. So Brazil, 2005, I got a call from Sydney Crooks in Brazil. They wanted us to do, they have a big 3-day festival called Mario Roots Reggae Festival in a place called San Luis, which is in Brazil of state like here. They have about, I think, 15 or 25. And this is in a place in northeastern Brazil called San Luis, which is in the state of Maranhão. So I went and we did the show. Big crowd, it was good. Because the Pioneers is known in Brazil. Pioneers is known all over. Mexico City, we go to Mexico City and it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. But I started to know about Mexico City was, I think, when I came, was it your show, Juno? It must have been your show when, I don't know if you remember, there were some people there that came from Mexico to your show when we were there. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And they came and said, yeah, you guys are big in Mexico, man. You're not coming to Mexico. So we went to Mexico, man. That place was crazy. And, I remember going also realizing that in Europe, how big we were in Leipzig, which was old East Germany, I think. And we were doing a show and we saw some people there the same way. And they said they came from Spain, Barcelona, Spain to Germany is a long, like 1,500 kilometers. Long drive.
Wow.
They can see us, yeah. So in all those places we are popular throughout Europe. Anyway, back to Brazil. So we went and we did the show and it was good, you know, no problem. And then I started to go back, you know, I'm saying, child, go back to Brazil. And then when I started going back, I realized that they were very big in sound system, what they call agiolas in Brazil. Yeah, sound system that we use, they call agiola. So then big into dub plate, but their dub plate is a different concept where you would record a song for, say, Intermarge is one of them, Extrella the sound. You record just a song, a normal song about love or whatever you want to think about cultural things. But the difference, you're not singing about the sound and saying the sound are gonna mash up a sound. Intermarge number one, not like that. You just sing a tune about love, I love you. Like I have a song with one of the sound named Intermarge. You know, I'm just a lonely lover, man. That's one of my songs that I recorded and I wrote. And it's big success. So the problem now is that Intermarge can play it exclusively. No other sound can play it.
Mm-hmm.
So when them have so them have a big sound clash now against, say, Extrella the sound and maybe 10,000 people. And them draw da, 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 da. That's the intro of the song. And when you hear the intro draw, play it plus the rock. Yeah, man, like Hurt Crate. Yeah, man. I've been in them dances myself in Brazil and yeah, man. So I keep going backwards and forward, and sometimes somebody fly me back for the shows. They say, we want to come to some dub plates, so maybe 6, and them fly me and I stay. And because of the dub plate, sometimes some of the songs get on release on the street and become like hit records.
Wow.
But then I had recorded a song. One time I was in London and there's this guy called Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell is a producer and he was after Brazil, and like we met up like sometime in the week. He's saying he's going to Brazil the Sunday, and the Saturday night we finished with Vice. He gave me like 9 tracks. I said, write some songs for these tracks, and the others were already written. Write the song, and he went and released a song called Together as One. Big success for me. So I've been going backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
Apart from
Amazing.
years of COVID, yeah. You know.
When was the last time you were down there?
December last year.
Oh wow, okay.
I was
Recently.
in some
Recently. Yeah.
Recently, yeah, December last year. I did a show in Sao Paulo. And now Sao Paulo is the biggest city, largest population, richest city, about 10 million people. As a matter of fact, they got in touch with me several weeks ago. They want me to come back to Sao Paulo to do some shows.
Mm-hmm. So question.
So as
go ahead, Junior.
the pioneer or as Jackie?
Jackie Robinson.
Not pioneer.
No, there seemed to be a little thing with Sao Paulo and Jackie Robinson. I don't know what to say. I'm just grateful that I don't like to talk like this, but in Sao Paulo is a more metropolitan place, cosmopolitan place. So even though they don't understand the English, but I think they, how can I say this without sounding arrogant? They like good singing.
Mm-hmm.
So they seem to have an affair with me.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. They seem to love my voice, I think, you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice. Take us back to, do you remember when you first discovered that the Pioneers had so many songs that the skinhead culture embraced and loved, and seeing so many skinheads at your shows?
Yes. So when we went 1969, 70, it was near the end of 69 because we departed Kingston November 22nd. See, I remember the date.
You do.
November 1969. And we got held up in New York for about 3 days because the British Caledonian, that was the airline, had a problem with the parts, and I have to wait until the parts came from England to New York, we flew over. So where was this? Okay. So the first show we did was outside of London, a place called Derby, which is like about 140 miles out of London. And when we went, the place was packed, like about at least 1,000 people. And it was, I would say 99 or maybe 100% young white kids, yeah.
Mm.
And then we start realizing that the dress, the dress with the short trousers and the Doc Martin shoes that they used to wear.
Yeah.
And, we singing everything and they're going crazy. And when they hear the ta 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 ta, it's like, even now, it's the same thing now.
Right.
Them just went crazy. And then there's a story start coming up all over the music papers, newspapers about the skinheads and this new music that they love. Because not everybody loved reggae, the mods and the rockers wasn't into reggae in England. But the skinheads, man, they have skinheads today. And I'm sure you guys can confirm that there's skinheads where you are at,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
And in Mexico City, and in São Paulo, Brazil. And I give you something. In San Luis, northeastern Brazil, the songs that we can sing up in San Luis is a different set of songs they want to hear in São Paulo. The songs that they want to hear in São Paulo is the songs that we would sing in England. Can you believe that?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, in São Paulo, Brazil. And there's a place not far from San Luis, which is northeast, named Belling, which is another stage, Belling Para. They want to hear a slightly different set of songs there too.
Mm.
But there's one song that no matter where in Brazil I go, I discover that this is the biggest hit we ever have. It's a song called 9 Pound Steel. That was successful in England for us. Yeah. And in Brazil, from São Paulo to Timor to San Luis to Belém, they want to hear that.
Wow.
And so those are Joe Simon song. We have the 3 songs that are, through these bars I see the sun. I'm here because the wrong I've done. Think, check it. That's what the rhythm. Check it, true. Big success.
Wow. Yeah. And
you can work magic with your voice.
I know. Jackie, when you play in Brazil, do you work with one band that goes throughout the entire country?
No. We have a band that we work with in San Luis. When we go to São Paulo, there's a band called Lions of Israel. Lions of Israel. Good band. Good musician, them, you know. And I can help myself with the Portuguese because I've been going backwards and forwards. So I try and pick up, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah, I worked with them last December. So December, what was it? December 3rd. It was a Thursday night. And now they built a new club, a bigger club close to the club that I work called Club Kingston. That was the name of the club.
Yeah.
You know. And like I was telling you, they linked me a couple of weeks ago. You know, I said, yo, man, you have to come back to work both clubs. And it's like about 15, 20 minutes walk from one club to the next. And they want me to come and work. And these are the places that they want me to come in São Paulo. So I don't know what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Looks like we lost Junior, but I'm sure he'll come right back. Jackie, we've touched on a lot of both originals and covers. Oh, here.
Yes.
One of my favorite covers that the Pioneers do is Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Oh, that is another song that we have to sing.
You all, Junior, you're back. Thank you. Junior, I was going to ask Jackie, one of my favorite cover songs and renditions that I think literally neck and neck with the original is Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Can you talk about that one, Jackie?
Papa Was a Rolling Stone. We decided to record it around 1973. And then we decided that we're gonna start doing it in our shows, and we do everywhere we go. We have to do it because it goes on well.
Yeah.
It really does go on well. And I had to sing it when I was doing my show in São Paulo last December. And I'm saying, wow, I got to do all this thing by myself because, we know shit. And I sang it, and, when I got to George part, I sing my part and Sydney sang his part. When I got to George, I said, hey, George is not here now. And just go down on the song. So next time.
Right. Yeah. I think Junior might be getting a call. I love that. Love that song so much.
Yes.
How do you go about choosing which songs to cover?
Sometimes you just hear a song and you just feel like you could do a good version of it, because if I hear a song and I'm just saying I just want to do it because I wonder if I could make some money. I just feel like I just want to exercise, see if I can sing it.
Yeah.
Good enough,
Right. Yeah. Another question for you is, when did you realize that there was some renewed interest in ska, rocksteady, and early reggae? And maybe it's around the time that you reformed again. But do you recall what you heard and what you were listening to at the time?
Well, okay. So I think this kind of like all the shows that we're doing now, all the festivals that they have through Europe now.
Right.
Maybe sometimes in the 1990s, because when we were in there in the 70s, we weren't going to places in Europe and do shows. Apart from when we went to Japan or went to Trinidad with Eddie Grant in 1978. Right. But I believe it's in the 1990s. I don't know what happened, why the thing just turned around like this, where a group like us can go to England or to a ska festival or a ska bar or a ska mount.
Yeah.
Summer Jam in Germany, or Rotterdam in Spain now, or Giel in Belgium, Holland Cunningham, or what's the name of the club? Megweg in Amsterdam, and Belgium again, and Switzerland, Austria, all these places.
Right.
Spain, Barcelona, Villanova. It was like that.
Yeah. Right.
Remember, it's not people my age, it's young people.
Yeah. Yes. True.
I remember when I came, it was your Sierra Nevada. There was this young guy. Yes. Don't remember his name or nothing. You have to be in his late 20s or early 30s. And this guy almost embarrassed me. Some of the questions he asked me.
Amazing.
About reggae. He almost threw me off my game and said,
right.
Yeah. Him and asking me about mentor and stuff like that. Yeah, right there. Yeah, Sierra Nevada. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, and I know we talked about this earlier with Warren Smith and Sierra Nevada World Music Festival. But so was that the first time the Pioneers played the West Coast of the U.S.?
Yes, it was.
Did you have opportunities prior to that you turned down, or was it literally?
No, that was the first concrete offer.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And that was just, everything was right about that.
Yeah.
Meaning the stars were aligned, and it was just.
It was nice, man. I love the weather. And when I was there with June, I had these, I think it was what was it? People from Hong Kong, the restaurant owners are Korea. The best Chinese, Chinese food I ever eat. Remember, Junior?
Yes, that's up there in Sunset. I'm a glass lovers.
Yeah, man.
Because Junior, when did you bring the Pioneers to Los Angeles at Ska Mania at Los Lobos?
Oh gosh, I'd have to ask Jackie.
I don't remember. Those guys from Mexico. That was a good band, man.
Yeah, no, they're from Los Angeles. The band is from Los Angeles, but we had lots of visitors, attendees came in
Yeah.
from Mexico and TJ, right? And
Yeah,
some
man.
friends who had lived in Mexico City and saw
Yeah.
you guys before. No, they see you. I'm not sure if they saw you before, but they came to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
Mm.
band was good though. What
Yeah,
am I
man,
called?
Delirians. Yeah, man.
Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to see if I could quickly find. No.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess,
Right.
it was probably. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can get this real quick. 2012.
So, Eric, sorry, so
2000.
Jackie, where's some of your favorite places you perform? There's so many you could write a book.
Oh God. Oh God.
A book.
Summer Jam, Cologne, Germany. And I'd like Rotterdam. Rotterdam is like 7 days and big crowd, you know. Tokyo,
Yes.
definitely in
Wow.
Tokyo. Yeah, man, Tokyo was nice. You know, São Paulo, Brazil. Can't leave out São Paulo. San Luis, Brazil. Belém in Brazil. You know, in Switzerland, we were in Switzerland and we were staying in France. The hotel was in France, and we drove across the border back to the venue. And the same thing in Belgium too, you know. Yeah. And then there's a place in Canada where we went over. I can't remember the name of that place. The Highland, there's an island that we take the ferry from Toronto and go over. St. Island, I think it's called, something like that. And they used to have, when they start having their festival, like carnival. I can't remember the name of the carnival that Toronto usually have, West Indian carnival, you know. Yeah, I went over the island.
That's huge.
You remember
Yeah,
that?
that's huge.
Yeah, every July, August, they used to have
Yeah,
it.
I've been to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But there's so many places that I performed. Mexico City was crazy. No, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. No place like Mexico
Yeah,
when
Junior,
it comes
Junior
to
C-
rocksteady
fan.
and the reggae.
Yeah, what's called? Reggae It's the Town, it was called. The people
Okay.
wanted us to sing some songs where I'm saying, wow, I don't remember them songs, you know, although when was a door, I was sitting crooks on myself. And yeah, and I said, what? Them songs, man, these songs are equal. Say the truth, people, I'm going crazy, man. Same thing in Brazil. When you go to Brazil, sometimes people go to Brazil artists and they have a little problem because the songs that's big over there,
Right.
not the same song that's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how is it? You don't remember the words? You have to struggle through.
Yeah. Well, where have you not performed where you would still like to perform?
Mainland Africa.
Okay. Yeah.
They offered us a show in the 70s to go to South Africa. And we said we wasn't interested, you know? And then we were supposed to go to Nigeria and there was an issue. But we were supposed to go to South Africa and we said, no, can't do it.
Okay.
But it was like about 1972, 73.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind, mainland Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Yeah, that was popular in Africa, you know. See a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. And I did find, so it was literally 10 years ago. It was June of 2012 where you were at Los Globos for Junior Ska Mania show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time
10 years ago.
Yeah. Where did it go?
I know.
Where did it go?
Well, a couple of years of it was taken up by COVID. Speaking of which, how have you been affected these last couple of years by COVID and the
no live shows in Europe.
Right.
We were scheduled to do a show in France. We were supposed to do several shows in London 2 years ago on the COVID.
Yeah, completely shut.
Yeah. The last show I did, the only show I've done in that time is the show that I did in São Paulo, Brazil.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The And what do you have on the books as far as any shows, any tours?
I think I'll have to go back to Brazil, because what's happening in Europe now also is that some of the shows that were scheduled 2 years ago,
Yeah.
where the artists might have been paid in advance, that's going to happen now, like Rotterdam and some of the other festivals. Is the artists that they had maybe 2 years ago and they paid them in advance. So it's like, nothing. Is those artists that was, booked, yeah.
Yeah.
So Europe look like iffy, and then the price of the ticket is so high now.
Oh my
Go to-
gosh, I know.
You have to London, $1,600 round trip.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And, I know the London International Ska Fest was just canceled.
Yeah, we were on it.
Yeah.
It's
You're
about
right. Right.
Yeah.
You have played that before.
at least twice, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's a festival that also, I remember meeting people that came to the festival to see us from Costa Rica. They come in from Saudi Arabia. They come
Yeah.
from across in Europe, because I
Right.
know people can come under the channel now, the English channel now, by train, right? You know that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come
No,
from-
it seems like people come from all over. I've always wanted to attend that festival.
Yeah, they come from all over the world, and all those things is negatively affected now because of the COVID.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Junior's back here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom wants me to take out a subscription.
Oh, you can say no, thank you. That's okay, Junior. We were just talking about the two things. One is the show that you did at Los Globos with the Pioneers was 10 years ago. It was June of 2012. So we'll make this a 10-year anniversary.
Long time, man.
Wow, what amazing.
Yeah, pretty fascinating. And then
Definitely go back for a trip out here.
I know.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love California. It's the only other place I see that I would live apart from Florida.
Right.
You said that so many times, I'm fully convinced.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's, semi-tropical, almost as close as Jamaica, with minus the humidity.
Yeah.
Those earth-scorched streets of Kingston, with the humidity, you don't have that.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. We get
Humidity
it here in
that you-
Florida, man. Get it. Right now it's
Oh,
probably 90s. I said,
Florida.
and I 80s, 90s right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty hot out here
Right.
in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Junior, what have we not asked that we want to ask Jackie before we let him go? Or Jackie, what have you not touched on? Obviously, you have such an incredible and amazing and long career.
Wow. So we stopped in Jordan when we was coming back from Tokyo in 1975. There's a lot of stuff to try and remember. I tell you, there's a lot of stuff that the pioneers contributed to the reggae music.
Yes.
But I'd rather other people blow trumpets than I don't blow any trumpets at all. Yeah, I'm not a musician.
I tell you why you have to blow it, because people don't know the history, so you have to blow it, and then nobody's going to blow your history.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
true.
have to. So I thought you told me a book was in the making.
My wife, I've written
Right.
some books, So I mean, I can always ask her and how to access the information on it and pass it back on to you. But my wife, I've written several books. Yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
No, we have to bring them out.
Yes.
You have a
Yeah, man,
copy
she did
nearby?
bring them out,
Huh?
I would have to go upstairs, but I can get the thing and send it to you, man.
All right. Yeah. And we'll make sure to share that with.
But can we show, if you know exactly where it is, you can I guess take a minute or two, go find it so we can publicize it so people can go
Yes,
and
give me a
look
minute.
for it. Huh?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Junior, while we're waiting for Jackie to come back too, I want to acknowledge I'm wearing I'm wearing the Reggae Pod Clash Man Like Devin and Roger Rivas shirt.
All right.
I know that they're not currently active doing their podcast, but
You're definitely a t-shirt collector.
I love to support, and that was one of my favorite podcasts. So yes. Yeah, Junior, we need to get Jackie and Pioneers back out here.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Right.
And also while we're waiting for Jackie to come back as well, want to encourage people that are Los Angeles based or people that can make it out to Los Angeles, August 20th, the year 2022. We have Jamaica's 60th anniversary celebration with none other than ska legend, the King of Ska, Derek Morgan. Who else is on that show, Junior?
Ocean 11, the Capsules, and the Steady 45s. And we have, which is unique, 3 female DJs.
Yes.
3 female DJs.
Right. And that's it. Oh, here we go. Yes.
That's at 20.
Right. Oh, there we go. There we go, Jackie.
I don't think I've seen it.
All right, so it's the Pioneers, and it says first book and Proverbs.
Yeah, sure. Some different, about 3 different types, you know. And then there's Pioneers, song lyrics and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
She wrote it.
Uh-huh.
I just answered the question.
Yes, and how this sailed so far? It's been a while now, right?
Yeah, nothing to write.
Okay.
Well, hopefully this will increase the sale and renewed interest.
We'll help get the word out.
Yeah, but you guys have so I guess you'll tell me what can see it on YouTube and sometimes in the future.
Yes, absolutely, Jackie. But we'll make sure to send all this information. This will live on YouTube. The audio will live on our podcast. And Jackie, we wanted to really thank you for your time and love the stories. And we're gonna get you back out here to Los Angeles.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes.
I love LA.
Yes, rest assured.
Absolutely.
And my kind regards to your wife. We're good friends on Facebook. We talk occasionally.
Okay.
Yes. And Junior?
Yes.
Junior, thank you as always.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
So,
for
one last question before we wrap up. So, Jackie, is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do?
right now.
Yeah, in terms of career, besides making a movie in Hollywood.
And as you said, I used to do acting in England. I forgot that part of my
wow.
career. Yeah, because sometimes the first Batman with Michael Keaton. Remember that first Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. It was made in location studio. What was it? It was a Pinewood. I think it was Pinewood Studio in England. And I worked on it playing a policeman. Yeah, with a little lines, and I did the first Islander movie. I did some of Superman with Christopher Reeve, because in the times when the US dollar was very strong, it worth it for them to come to England and locate them, because the technology in England is good, like America. So they used to there's a lot of movies. Some of the Star Wars movie and stuff like that. Yes, that's real
fascinating.
in studios there. Oh yes.
Yeah.
The first Alien with Sigourney Weaver was made in an old what was it? Electric station, like a power station.
Okay.
It was not being used anymore. Yeah, in a place called Acton in London, England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Right.
And I work on Out of Africa too. I did a little part of that with what's the guy name? What's her name again? My girl, oh God, I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Robert Redford.
All right.
Robert Redford. Yeah.
Wow, man of many talents.
Oh yeah. Because what happened was that because my father used to deal with a lot of American tourists when they come on the ships, and they'd come and buy local produce from his stall at the craft market.
Right,
Remember I was
right.
telling you about that? Right. So he used to be emulating the accent. So I
Wow.
got some of that from a young age. So
Awesome.
like when I do a line, they asked me to do a line, and the cops back us up in a place, and I'm saying, "Hey, cop, you gonna explain that to my wife, man? Let me out of here," like that. And I'm saying, "Well, you can talk like that." They used to give me lines.
One of the advantages of growing up in Kingston,
Yes, man, because the other guys can't do the lines. The English guys can't get away from the accent, right? But I just dropped this American. One guy said, "Man, you sound like you're out of the state of Ohio, man." Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So fun.
So I never
Yeah,
worked.
because when you grew up in the hills of Manchester.
Yeah. So
Excellent. Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yes.
That's a perfect way to end.
yeah,
Yeah. Jackie,
no
thank you.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't make any claim. Some guys that come on and say they did this and did all of that. I don't make any claims. All I'm saying.
No, man, your history is rich enough. No need for
Yeah.
bragging. Just take the facts.
Yeah, I don't have to brag about anything. I'm saying that Long Shot Bust My Bet might have been the first reggae song. Yeah.
Right.
Or it might have been to the reggae, or it might have been Nanigo, but it could be Long Shot Bust My Bet.
Sure.
And it
Yeah.
was recorded and written by Sidney Crooks and myself, Jackie Robinson. So there you go.
There we go. You heard it
And
here.
Long Shot kicked the bucket and helped to introduce reggae music to an international community, because it went into the pop charts in England by
Right.
the pioneers.
And that song is still making cash registers ring. And I hope you're getting your royalty check. All three, you're getting your royalty
Yeah,
check. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
still rocking the dance floor. That dance floor favorite.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Anywhere in Europe you go, some
No,
part
man,
of
you're in LA too, man. You got to drop
I
Long
know,
Shot.
yeah, right. Because I
All
know
over.
you have that kind of fan base too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Yes, Jackie. Junior.
No,
Yeah, man.
So-
Thanks for your time.
so, all right, man.
Yes.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
much,
indeed.
Much love and
Much
respect. And thank you to
All
everyone
right.
All right.
for
You're welcome.
watching. Yes. Thank you
Okay.
for everyone to watch and
Yes.
and listen to this podcast.
Follow us. Yes, please follow us at History of LA Ska on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Facebook group. Please follow me at Junor Francis. The series is produced by, again, Eric Kohler, who co-hosts for the Rockery. And thanks to everyone who takes the time to, of course, pay attention, to listen, and to spread the word. And the word is getting around. We want to thank everyone who's been involved so far.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. Junior, Jackie.
Eric,
wonderful.
Junior.
Yes.
Yes,
Have a
man.
wonderful
We'll
evening.
talk
Take
soon.
care. All right.
Eric.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Again, hi to your wife for me.
Yes.